Good afternoon and welcome to Foreign Desk on Benue Television. My name is Winifred Yusu. On the headline, DR Congo Military Court sentences 26 armed group members to death. Ex-Catalan leader eludes police manhunt and flees Spain. Plus, Indian opposition leader gets bail after 17 months in jail. A military court in the Democratic Republic of the Congo has sentenced 26 people accused of involvement in armed groups, including the M23, to death after a high-profile trial that started late last month. Corneille Nangaa, the leader of the Alliance Fleuve Congo AFC, was found guilty of war crimes, participation in an insurrection, and treason. Nangaa and 20 other defendants were sentenced to death in absentia on Thursday as they are currently on the run. The president of the court said the 5 accused persons who were present for the trial have 5 days to appeal the sentence. The prosecutor in the trial, which began on July 24th, had called for death sentences against 25 of the defendants and a 20-year jail term for one defendant. Nangaa, the former president of the DRC's Electoral Commission, launched the AFC political military movement in December with the aim of uniting armed groups, political parties, and civil society against the government. One of its members in the M23 armed group accused of mass killing in eastern DRC decades-long conflict. The key M23 figures on trial included its president Bertrand Bisimwa, military chief Sultani Makenga, and spokesperson William Goma and Lawrence Kayuka. A British terror suspect has been deported to the UK after completing a lengthy prison sentence in Kenya. Jermaine Grant, 41, was arrested in London on Thursday after arriving on a flight from Kenya's capital, Nairobi. He was jailed in 2011 after bomb-making equipment was discovered in his flat in Mombasa, a Kenyan coastal city. Grant is thought to have shared the flat with Samantha Lawit, who is dubbed the White Widow and is wanted in connection with London's 7/7 bombings. After he was arrested in 2011, Kenyan police accused Grant of plotting to bomb tourist hotels on country's coast. In 2019, a court acquitted him of conspiracy over the alleged plot but convicted him of possessing a bomb-making material. On Friday, the UK's Metropolitan Police confirmed that Grant had been detained in London under the Terrorism Act. The Met Police also said Grant was accused on suspicion of being a member of Al-Shabaab, an Islamist militant group. He remains in police custody. Meanwhile, Ms. Lawite has not been seen since 2011 and is wanted by police in both Kenya and the UK. Charles Puigdemont, the exiled ex-Catalan leader, has evaded a massive police manhunt and fled Spain. Spanish authorities launched a large manhunt for Mr. Puigdemont on Thursday after he made a shock return to Spain, gave a short speech to crowds in Barcelona, and then disappeared. The 61-year-old is wanted by Spain on charges linked to a failed bid for Catalan independence in 2017. After a tumultuous 24 hours on the run, his party Secretary General Jordi Turul said on Friday Mr. Puigdemont is now back in Belgium, where he lives. In 2017, Catalonians pro-independence leaders, including Mr. Puigdemont, organized a referendum which was ruled illegal by Spain's constitutional court and later declared independence for the region. Madrid imposed direct rule on the region soon after, and Mr. Puigdemont fled to Beijing. For much of the past several years, he has lived in Brussels. On his return after 7 years in exile, Mr. Puigdemont briefly addressed hundreds of supporters gathered near the Catalan parliament in Barcelona. The Chief Commissioner of Catalan Police, Mossos El Quadra, Eldol Salant, told journalists on Friday he did not have any information about Mr. Puigdemont's whereabouts, and the plan had been to arrest him in the most suitable place. He confirmed that 2 officers were detained on suspicion of helping Mr. Puigdemont flee, adding that it is possible that other Mossos helped him in his escape and the force would follow the appropriate criminal and administrative process for each case. Let's take a very short break. We will be back soon. Do stay with us.
The first national conference of the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters with the theme Broadcasting and the Political Economy of Content Production in the Digital Age holds in Abuja from Wednesday 14th to Thursday 15th August 2024. Venue is Nikon Luxury Hotel, Abuja, beginning from 10 a.m. Keynote speaker Dr. John Momo, OON, Chairman, Channels Television Group. Special guest of honor Alhaji Idris Malagi, Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation. Broadcasters Dinner will climax the event on Thursday 15th August, where some icons of the broadcasting profession will be recognized. Announcer, Planning Committee.
Welcome. A U.S. court has convicted a Mozambican former finance minister over a 10-year-old conspiracy that triggered the worst economic crisis in his home country since independence. Manuel Chang was found guilty of accepting payoffs through U.S. banks for approving secret loans. The loans were intended to pay for a fleet of tuna fishing ships and other projects, leading to the affair being dubbed the Tuna Bond scandal. But the loans were plundered, leaving Mozambique $2 billion in debt. Chang was arrested in South Africa in 2018 and extradited to the U.S. the following year to face fraud and money laundering charges. The Mozambican authorities had wanted Chang to be sent back to be tried on home soil instead of in the U.S. He will be sentenced later, potentially facing 20 years in prison. Chang had denied the charges, and his lawyers say he plans to appeal the verdict. Russia's military has said it is continuing to repel a Ukrainian cross-border incursion into the western Kursk region, a surprise attack now in its 4th day. The Russian Defense Ministry said Ukraine lost more than 280 military personnel in the past 24 hours, a claim that has not been independently verified. Reports suggest that Ukrainian troops are operating more than 10 kilometers inside Russia. The deepest cross-border advance by Kyiv since Moscow launched a full-scale invasion in February 2022. Ukraine has not openly admitted the incursion, but President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Thursday that Moscow must feel the consequences for its invasion. Separately, Ukraine's military said it hit overnight a military airfield deep inside Russia, destroying guided bombs stored in warehouses. In a statement, the Ukrainian military reported to a huge blaze and multiple detonations at the Lipsk airfield, more than 350 kilometers from Ukraine's border, after the overnight strike. The statement said the airfield was known for housing Russia's Su-34, Su-35, and MiG-31 warplanes, but provided no further information about the attack. An athlete has died while taking part in a swim at the CrossFit Games in Texas. Officials from Fort Worth Emergency Services said Lazar Dukic, 28, from Serbia, was competing on Marine Creek Lake near the city of Fort Worth on Thursday morning when he disappeared under the water and failed to resurface. Emergency services were called to at around 8 a.m. local time, and a body was recovered about an hour later. The search for Mr. Dukic's body involved a dive team from the Fort Worth Police Department as well as drones. CrossFit CEO Don Fall said Mr. Dukic was a loved and respected member of the fitness community. He also said a fully documented safety plan had been in place and that safety personnel were on site throughout the event. Let's take another break. We'll be back shortly. Don't go away.
The first national conference of the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters with the theme Broadcasting and the Political Economy of Content Production in the Digital Age holds in Abuja from Wednesday 14th to Thursday 15th August 2024. Venue is Nikon Luxury Hotel, Abuja, beginning from 10 a.m. Keynote speaker Dr. John Momo, OON, Chairman, Channels Television Group. Special guest of honor Alhaji Idris Malagi, Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation. Broadcasters Dinner will climax the event on Thursday 15th August, where some icons of the broadcasting profession will be recognized. Announcer, Planning Committee.
Welcome. A speeding Mercedes driver has been jailed for 10 years for causing the death of an Ecuadorian politician's daughter in London. Psychologist Vanessa Sagni de la Bastida was crossing the road holding hands with her fiancé Michael Williams as they walked home near Wandsworth Bridge in West London on 16th March 2022. Octavian Skada, 39, drove towards them at about 55 mph, more than double the speed limit, causing the terrified couple to become separated as they fled. Miss Sagni, 27, who was known as Charlotte, was hit before she reached the pavement, causing her to somersault in the air and land on a railing and signpost. She suffered a catastrophic head injury and died at the scene. Kada of Bexley, southeast London, had accused the couple of causing the collision by messing about on the road, only admitting later to jurors that he was wrong. He also claimed he was trying to avoid them, but the court was told the accident would not have happened if he had been driving at speed limit of 30. A jury deliberated for 42 minutes to find him guilty of causing Miss Sagni's death by dangerous driving. Sada was jailed for 10 years and disqualified from driving for 10 years and 8 months. In 2018, Sada was convicted of speeding, fined, and given 6 penalty points at Bromley Magistrates Court. India's Supreme Court has granted bail to a prominent opposition leader of Delhi's governing Aam Aadmi Party (AAP) in a money laundering case. The top court said Manish Sisodia's prolonged incarceration had violated his right to a speedy trial. Mr. Sisodia had been in jail for more than 17 months in a case related to alleged irregularities in a now-scrapped liquor policy in the city. He denies the corruption allegations and had challenged his arrest in court. The court said the right to a quick trial was sacrosanct and that if the state or an agency failed to protect it, then bail cannot be opposed, saying the crime is serious. The judges added that since Mr. Sisodia's trial was unlikely to be completed soon, it would be a violation of his rights to keep him imprisoned indefinitely. Australian security officials say a 19-year-old was planning to kill a large crowd of people in a suicide attack at a Taylor Swift concert in Vienna. Officials say the teen, who had previously pledged allegiance to the Islamic State group IS, confessed that he intended to carry out an attack using explosives and knives. He is one of three suspects arrested on Wednesday. A fourth, aged 18 and an acquaintance of the main suspect, was arrested on Thursday. Swift's three sold-out shows at the Ents Happel Stadium had been cancelled. More than 195,000 people had been expected to attend. Security officials at a news conference on Thursday did not comment on where he got the chemicals, but Public Security Chief Franz Ralph told reporters that chemical substances and technical devices found at the main suspect's house showed concrete temporary preparatory actions. That's it on Foreign Desk, but before we go, let's take a recap of the headlines. DR Congo military court sentenced 26 armed group members to death. We told you ex-Catalan leader elude police manhunt and flees Spain. We also intimated you that Indian opposition leader gets bail after 17 months in jail. On behalf of our crew, thanks so much for watching. My name is Winifred. You so do have a great day.